Hey everybody, I'm Corey.
And I'm Dana.
And today we're here to give you our review of Symphony of the Seas.
So can you believe we did 6 videos on Symphony of the Seas? That's awesome.
That is awesome. I'm proud of us.
So today what we're going to do is break down those videos a little bit for you and actually give you a review. So we wanted to kind of do something a little bit separate. So for those people who just want to just see what it was like, they can see what it's like. Those who want a little more detail and a little bit of opinion can watch our review. So let's get into it. So I think we should kind of start the way I guess our videos go. So you want to just start a little bit about boarding day?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we could talk about that. So we boarded in Miami. Symphony of the Seas goes out of Miami, Florida. And I will say that the embarkation and boarding on Symphony of the Seas was actually really nice and easy and very thorough. So like we actually I dropped my parents off. And there's a lot of traffic in and out of this particular terminal for Symphony of the Seas. And you wouldn't believe that the people that work there are so efficient. Like, you're just in and out, no rush, and you know, no none of that, no confusion or anything like that. It's very simple. And then when we went and checked in, like, all we had to do was just show our CPass card on our phone because we checked in early, which is very important and very helpful if you go ahead and you check in early.
Yes.
And just look at it.
Online.
Yep, it just went right on in. So.
And I think they use face recognition.
Face recognition.
So basically, they had an iPad and they just like scanned our card and excuse me, our little CPass. Forgive me if I'm calling it the wrong thing because different cruise lines call it different things, but they just scanned it. It pulls up the picture that we had previously loaded when we did online check-in, and we were able to go in. Another thing that's important to know is that they have little pods kind of, I guess, for you to stand in. So there were a lot of staff kind of just standing around to kind of let, you know, scan you in and everything. It was a little, I guess, informal, I would almost dare to say.
Yeah.
It felt like. Now, one thing I want to say, and this is just like my small piece of advice, I guess, that I would give to most people, is that unless you are like, what is it, Pinnacle, and you've been up on Royal Caribbean, you know, for 800 plus nights or whatever it is nowadays, don't try to get to the port first thing. I know some people are like, hey, I paid for this. I want to get every hour up there I can. What you'll get is waiting in line. And if you want to wait in line, and that's fine because you want to be first, but just know that, honestly, your time is probably worth more. And so come when you actually have your assigned times, or what we like to do is we just come like usually around 1 or after 1. We literally walked on. There was no line. There was nothing. Nope. We just walked in, scanned us in, and we were on the ship. All the eating places are still open, and there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
So don't feel like you have to rush to get there first, because I think you end up just spending time waiting in line unless you're priority or have a suite.
Yeah.
So if you're like a first-time cruiser, for example, or first time on Royal Caribbean, I would just say, hey, take your time getting on the ship.
And, you know, speaking of lots of places to eat and that are open, like, it's really important to know some of the other venues that are open on the first day when you first get there, because the first thing that people do is 9 times out of 10 is go to the buffet. Well, that's where everybody goes. So we were able to go to the Doghouse, which is right there on the boardwalk, and eat there, and there was no line and nobody out there.
So with the ship as large as Symphony of the Seas, know that there are several places open for lunch on boarding day besides just the buffet. You're also going to have, like he said, the Doghouse, so you can get hot dogs, including chicken hot dogs for those who may not eat beef. Park Cafe, one of my favorite places to go,
Sorrento's.
has Sorrento's Pizza, the Promenade Cafe, and actually even some of the pay restaurants. I know, like Chops. I don't know if you have to be part of Key to eat there, but there are some other restaurants that are open as well. So just do a little research before you go, and you don't have to go to the buffet. There are tons of complimentary options for you to choose, and you won't have to worry about crowds.
Alright, so the next thing we want to talk about is we want to talk about the room. I personally really liked the room. I thought it was very modern. I thought that the space that was in there, you have tons of cabinet storage to put all your things. I liked the bathroom. I felt like the shower was big enough. I really liked the balcony. I thought that was really nice. The bed, I don't think that it was very comfortable. I thought it was a little bit hard, but I really enjoyed the room overall.
I will have to say that probably of all the ships that we've cruised on, maybe with the exception of that one time we were in a Grand Suite, this is probably the best cruise ship room or cruise ship cabin that we've had, in terms of it just being a standard balcony cabin. It was really, really nice. And I get it. It's a new ship, so, you know. But the layout of it is not just about what it looked like. It was about the functionality of it. And if you saw my video, you saw me in the shower. So some people like the capsule showers that Royal Caribbean has, where they're glass and you can close them. I know some people may prefer the ones on Carnival that they're shower curtains, but I have to say this was the largest capsule shower that I've experienced on a Royal Caribbean ship, and I really liked it. I'm a fan of capsule showers anyway, but this particular one was even bigger, and it even had a bar that you could put your foot up on.
Yeah, that was nice.
And when you mentioned storage, I don't even know what to say. Like, it was so much storage in there, we could have lived in it. There were hooks everywhere, and this is important because on a recent cruise we just got off of, more of that later, we bought those magnetic hooks to hang around the room so that we would have places to hang up stuff, and we ended up needing them. I'm going to tell you now, on Symphony of the Seas, you're not going to need them. There are hooks everywhere. There are even hooks inside the shower. You know, I just felt like storage was very abundant. I love the fact that the his and her storage, I mean, we really had our own separate storage. We didn't have to share anything. So one thing I do want to totally agree with you on too is the bed. Guys, I'm going to have to say the bed was too hard. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put a disclaimer in here. For us plus size people, I thought the bed was too hard. Regular size, or whatever you want to call it, it may be fine, but I'm going to say that you're going to experience, if you're larger than average, you may experience some fatigue laying, if you're a side sleeper, on the mattress. At one point, I even tried to sleep on the sofa in the room instead. That wasn't much better, even though I liked it, but it wasn't comfortable for sleeping. Yeah, and I'm a back sleeper, and it still hurt my back when I woke up in the morning. So, overall, I just did not enjoy that bed at all. I mean, and it's not that it's not terrible. Yeah, but you can sleep on it, but you won't be lounging all day on it, and you're gonna have to get up because it's gonna start to hurt after a while. So unfortunately, I would have to take off marks if I was grading for the bed, for the actual mattress. But other than that, I'm trying to think. The balcony was a good size. Real tables. So one thing is, you know, we edit when we're on the cruise ship, and you were actually able to move the table in the room around so he could sit on the sofa and edit. And depending on the type of cabin you have, even your table outside on the balcony, so like for example, like the Central Park or the Boardwalk balcony, so you have full-size tables, and some people may not think much of that, but like if you're trying to do room service and you want to eat out on the balcony, it's nice to have a table, you know, that's normal height. So it's little things like that that I really like and everything. But I mean, other than that, I mean, the room, I seriously could have lived in it. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was the venues. I really felt like there were tons of venues on this cruise ship. Like, there's probably some that we didn't even see. Or maybe we saw them and we really didn't get a chance to enjoy them. I felt like most of the time we were at Central Park, and we were at the Boardwalk, and we were at the Royal Promenade, and sometimes on the sun deck. But I mean, even the solarium, like we didn't really go out there that much, but that's because the solarium didn't have like a regular pool out there. But just like so many venues that you just go and just hang out and people watch. I just thought it was fantastic. So if you're looking for people watch, totally agree. Tons of places out there to people watch and everything. So a couple of things about the venues. And I'm probably not the best person to talk about venues because half the stuff I didn't go to because I like to get my relax out on the balcony. So I may not have been at everything. That's fine. But one piece of warning, caution, whatever, make sure you reserve anything you're really interested in going to see online prior to getting on the cruise ship. Yes. you can reserve from the comfort of your living room, bedroom, wherever, versus once you get on the ship, you're going to have to get in a line with other people and try to reserve shows. If you go to a show, you don't have a reservation, you may still be able to get in, but it will be after they do kind of an open call, which is usually maybe 10 or so minutes prior to the show starting. So you'll be out in the line with a whole bunch of other people who don't have reservations. And then you kind of get to fill in whatever seats are left open. So I would encourage reservations and to get to pretty much all the shows at least, I would say, in half hour before they start if you want prime seating. One thing I will say about their venues, speaking of reserving online, is Royal Caribbean has some of the best at-sea shows of any cruise line that we've been on. I would say Royal Caribbean and probably Disney. So with Royal Caribbean, this particular time we saw Hairspray.
Oh, so
and
good.
I'm in my cruise mode, get my relax on. I was like, I'm not going to go see Hairspray. I think it was like an hour and a half. Normally shows are only 45 minutes, and I was like, hour and a half, I don't know. And I really thought I was probably gonna leave at some point. But it was great, guys. It was so good that I stayed the entire time. I would have gone to see it again had I had time. And it was really an awesome show. The performers were fantastic. The singing was great. I was hooked.
Yeah. And speaking of that, we also went and saw Hero, the Aqua Show that was at the Aqua Theater. That was fantastic. I mean, you had dancers just dancing all in the water, just splashing things with like wands and stuff. You had a woman coming across the actual crowd or whatever doing spins and flips and stuff, and you had all the divers going into the water. Like, it was fantastic. The amount of skill and talent that it takes to do that while the ship is moving, gotta give it up to you.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, I can barely shower while the ship is moving, and these people are doing all these acrobatic things.
Yeah.
I will definitely say that is a show that if you have kids, take them. I think they will love it. And also be careful if you sit in the first couple of rows; they're marked off. You could get wet.
Absolutely. Think of it like going to SeaWorld. Maybe not. Just to add on to the whole venue thing, I mean, I felt like because there were so many venues out there, I didn't really feel the crowd.
So one of the venues I wanted to also mention, I know you brought it up earlier, was the Solarium. So Solarium in the past with Royal Caribbean has been one of my favorite places to go, primarily because it typically has a pool. And the Solarium, I think it's 16 and up, or is it 18? I don't know. But anyway, so technically it's for adults, and it's just like usually a little private area. It's usually not too big, and it's just a nice place to go if you want to get away from all the hubbub going on at the main pools on the ship. So the Symphony is a little bit different in that, first of all, the Solarium is 2 levels. It's huge, and again, you've got to think there are over 6,000 passengers up here, so of course it's going to have to be bigger than some of the smaller ships that we've been on. But what I was disappointed in is the pool. So the pool, some people have been calling it a hot tub. It is actually a pool because the water is cold. Maybe a human fountain would be a better name for it. But one of the things I like about usually with the Solarium pools is that you can walk into them. So anybody with any type of mobility issues or anything like that can walk into the pool and have just as much fun, as everybody else. And while, I could go to the main pool and climb up and down the ladder, I prefer stairs personally. So you can walk into this, but again, it is not a pool. You won't be swimming. I think it's only like 3 feet something deep. Really, it's just sitting in water.
And human aquarium because it's see-through.
I love that. Human aquarium. That's exactly what it is.
I mean, that's what it looks like to me. I mean, but to add on to the whole Solarium part of it, what I did like was that they have the Skywalk on one side, where you can actually walk out there and do like the Titanic, and it actually has a glass bottom.
And drown. No. You said the Titanic.
Well, when I think of the Titanic, I think of, Jack and Rose. I don't think about
drowning.
Yeah. Anyways, it has the Skywalk, so you can actually go out there and take some pictures and just feel the breeze and everything like that, but it has a glass bottom, so you can see all the way down to the ocean.
So now I want to kind of talk about, just leading off of venues, let's talk about different areas on the ship. I don't know if you would call them venues per se, but I want to talk about my personal favorite, which was Central Park. So Central Park is where you can go and they have live trees, live plants, and I don't know all the details of it, but for some reason it gets such a great breeze out there all day long. It's just lovely. I mean, it is just, you can go out there, people are playing live music, there are places to sit. That's where the park cafe is going to be, that's where Jamie's is. You're going to have some shopping, as well as there's vintages and just all different types. I think 150 Park.
150 Central Park. 150
Central Park is out there.
Chops Grill is out there.
So that's kind of like, let's call it Restaurant Row in Central Park. That's what I'm going to call it. Anyway, but it's a really nice place. At night, it's lit well.
Beautiful.
It can be romantic. It can be a nice place to go out for a date if you wanted to, or take a stroll. I mean, who's heard of stuff like this? Taking a stroll through a park on a cruise ship.
My mom was amazed by that when she saw it. She was just like, I have those plants at home, but I can't keep them alive. But they have artists out there, musicians out there playing music, at night. So again, like going to what you said, it could be like a romantic evening if you want to just take a stroll out there. It's just very, very beautiful. Our favorite place, Central Park. Oh, and you mentioned this in one of our other videos when we did the ship tour. They have umbrellas.
Oh, yes. So because Central Park is open air, just like all parks, if you are coming from one side to the other and it's raining outside, you could actually get wet. So if you will notice on your way out of the door to Central Park, there are actually golf-size umbrellas that you can use to get you from one side to the other. I thought that was very thoughtful.
Very thoughtful. So another venue that I'd like to talk about, or another area I should say that we frequent a lot, which was the Boardwalk. You have a carousel out there which we rode, which was very fun. It's free. You had the doghouse that we went to where you could get hot dogs and sausages and stuff. The candy shop. So they have a candy shop called the Sweet Shack, I believe that's what it's called.
Or is it Sugar Beach?
Oh, Sugar Beach. You're absolutely right. Sorry, it's called Sugar Beach. And you basically just go in there and get candy by the pound, or however much candy you would like to have.
Let me tell you, I think that candy... I think
it was like $20.
I was gonna say, I think it's like $19, $20 a pound. Yeah. The way they have it listed, I think they have it listed as, wait, I don't even know if they had any prices listed at all.
I don't think that they did.
There's no price listed. So you just go through there. So be careful going there with children. And then they ring it up and it's like $20 for some malt balls. And it's like
and some jelly beans. 21 ounces of candy. The Sugar Beach is how much? $19.81 for 21 ounces of candy. Okay. I mean, it was crazy, but
but it was good candy.
It was good candy. The chocolate was really good. So if you have a sweet tooth, you just want some candy, go out to the Sugar Beach. Go out to the Sugar Beach. It was great to hang out there at night too, because it lights up. Also, just like Central Park, and they actually had football games going on inside of Playmakers because it's like a sports bar. So I would really check out Boardwalk when we go there. That was a really hopping place. We'll say
hopping place.
Yeah, it was.
Alright, so now let's talk a little bit about food. Now, if you saw our food video, you saw that we ate everything on the ship. But we did it for you. We wanted to be able to come back and tell the truth.
That's right.
So,
you gotta taste it all.
We had to taste everything.
At least all the free stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that's one thing. Let me just start off straight mentioning. I know some people, I've heard people like, oh, cruise lines these days, they like to nickel and dime. You got to pay for your food. You can absolutely cruise on this ship and not pay a dime extra for food.
Okay, so I will add to that. My mother and father went on this cruise with us, okay? And I won't say that they're frugal, but they will partake in all the free things, okay? I kid you not, when we left this cruise ship and I checked their bill, they owed Royal Caribbean $3.75 or something to that amount. But it was no more than $3 and some change. We owe about $280 still to the cruise line. After all the onboard credit, gratuities, and all that kind of stuff, we still owe $280. They didn't spend anything really and they only owe $3 and what?
$3.39.
$3.39.
Now,
I couldn't believe it. I was floored. Absolutely floored.
Now, in fairness, they did have some onboard credit, which took care of their gratuities and their couple of Starbucks visits. But basically, they had nothing left. Now, our bill looked different, and we're not going to discuss that. But anyway, back to the food. So we didn't go to, actually, I don't think we went to any pay restaurants.
Johnny Rockets.
Oh, yeah, we went to Johnny Rockets once, but I think that's it. Now, in the past, we have gone to the pay restaurants, so we have eaten there. And we like Giovanni's back when the ships had, what's the one that began with a P? Can't remember what it was called, but we like that too. So we've been to some of the venues, some of the eateries, some of the dining places. But this time we actually did not pay additional for food other than room service. But let me talk a little bit about the food. So recently Royal Caribbean has kind of redid their pizza. I guess there were some complaints about it. Their pizza was great.
It was.
So you can get that. Pizza's 24 hours at Sorrento's, and it also, they have fruit and like antipasta stuff there and salads, so there's some other options as well as some desserts if you want. Then you've got the Promenade Cafe, similar in that it has some little sides and desserts, but they also have sandwiches there. And it's open pretty late. And it's not 24 hours, but it's open pretty late. And then you have the Park Cafe. Now, one thing I really like, and one thing I have to give credit to Royal Caribbean for, is not only is their food good, but their variety of food is good. So there's some people who, when they are on a cruise, you know, they eat healthy off the cruise, they want to eat healthy on the cruise. And what I like with Royal Caribbean is you have all those options, but it's not just like, hey, you know, try to eat healthy, you know, we got apples and salad. No, they actually have entrees. Park Cafe, you can actually go and create your own salad. And they actually have like a whole bunch of options of things you can put on it. Lots of fresh fruit, healthy things. I mean, just stuff that I guess is not just normal what you think of a diet food. So you can definitely go on this, and if you know, not break your normal eating habits. If you want to, they have sugar-free desserts that actually taste like regular desserts. Not everything sugar-free needs to taste like Jell-O.
That was really, really shocking. Because we on previous cruises for Royal Caribbean, we really didn't think the desserts were really that good. And
most cruise lines desserts are horrible.
Well, that's true. That is true. But they really stepped up their game with this one.
I don't know. Maybe one thing that maybe I didn't like a whole bunch. Yeah. But in general, their food was good. But their desserts, I was surprised. I really was surprised.
Very, very.
They were actually very, very good. So.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed the buffet. Like the breakfast, I thought was really, really good. The lunch and dinner, I thought was good. You know, not fantastic or anything like that, but I mean, I found tons of stuff up there that was edible and
good variety.
Good variety. They had tons of stuff. That's what I love about it.
Well, that's what I would say. If you go there and you didn't see anything you wanted, there are like 15 other venues where you can go find food from.
Yeah, but I mean, also to the buffet area. I mean, it's so large. That's the thing. Is like a lot of times you just see some of the little tiny things and then it's a repeat. So, you know, there'd be a little break and then there'll be a repeat. But it was like you go all the way around and there was still more food, you know, around the other side that you could enjoy.
Oh, and you also, so I think for dinner, I don't know about lunch, but yeah, lunch and dinner, the Solarium actually has a bistro. They actually have breakfast there too.
They do. Yeah, they have a breakfast buffet and they have a lunch buffet.
And dinner, I think you're supposed to make reservations.
Right, exactly. And there's actually a menu on the outside of the Solarium bistro, so you can see what they have for dinner that night. We went to the lunch buffet at the Solarium bistro right before they closed. I mean, like, I'm talking right before they closed. And we walk in there and the lady was like, take it off. like hurry up, get your plate, eat whatever you want because we're getting ready to close up and, you know, do whatever. And it was delicious. It was really, really good. I remember there was a ham that I really liked. It was very good.
So one of the things I actually wanted to mention real quick while we're talking about food is Wonderland. Now, as probably everybody's seen, Wonderland is this dining venue, and I guess I should call it an experience on Royal Caribbean. And although we did not go and eat there because there were just too many other places for us to go that were complimentary, we just didn't make it there. One thing I did want to share is that if you want to go and just get dessert, like that apple or any of the other stuff that you may have seen, you can actually go there, and it's, I think, $10 a person, and you can just go there and order dessert. So don't feel like you have to go there and go through the entire meal. You can still get the experience and just do the dessert part if you want to.
Yeah, that's good, because a lot of times we go and eat the meal and can't make it to dessert. So
I know you probably think we're lying, but seriously, sometimes we just can't get to the dessert.
You ever notice sometimes we go to the dessert first?
Yes.
So we can try that and see it
For
instead.
you.
Just for you.
Another thing I'll talk about real quick is just room service. So, you know, every ship kind of does something a little bit different. So with Royal Caribbean, they do charge for room service, but they don't charge per item. They charge a flat $7.95 for whatever you order.
Yeah.
So I can just tell you, like, you know, one of my favorite things to get up there is I get their... No, it is the Greek salad, and I order extra feta and extra olives. I love their Greek salad. And so their food is pretty good. I know you've had their pizza up there.
Oh yeah, what you get, like a full-size pizza, and it's funny because it tastes different than the pizza you get at Sorrento's. So I actually enjoy that a little bit better.
And let me tell you, it is heads above what Royal Caribbean's room service pizza used to be.
Oh
my God, pizza used to be awful. Like, I think it was like this size, and I really didn't have sauce, so it was like, I mean, it felt like it was microwaved. It used to be awful. So
it was kind of deep dish too, or something.
Yeah,
I don't know,
it was weird, and I've never understood why pizza at the buffet is different from pizza at the pizza place, which is different from pizza in room service. I don't get it. But you know, but in general, the other thing I like about Royal Caribbean is it's not just like snacky food. You can actually get salmon in room service. You could get pasta in room service. And again, there is a fee, but I mean, you know, $7.95 to be able to eat out on the balcony with ocean waves, you know, alone and not with 50 of your closest friends. It's nice to do that occasionally. So we like it.
So one of the other things I wanted to talk about was something that I ran into and completely forgot that they had this on this cruise ship. And that would be the piano lady. We were walking back from a show, I believe, or something one night. And the elevators are glass elevators on the outside. And I just happened to turn and look. And I saw her in the elevator and I was like, oh my God, Dana, I need to go catch the elevator lady. And so I ran over there and I just started pushing the button because she's going up and down. I just pushed the button. The tricky part is there are 6 elevators right there in that hallway. So the tricky part is trying to get her to stop on your floor.
Versus just any other random
just random things. So that's the tricky part, is trying to get in there with her. But you go in there, you know, she's got a full-size piano in there, super nice, and she takes requests. And so, of course, she caught me off guard because she's like, what song do you want to hear? Now, of course...
After you asked, do you take requests?
Okay, so I asked... I kind of put my foot there, you know, because I asked her if she takes requests. She's like, yeah, what kind of song do you want to hear? Do you take requests?
Oh, yeah, sure. Which kind of song do you like?
I don't know. I probably should be like, oh, Beyonce, blah, blah, blah. She wouldn't have known that, you know, whatever. But so I let her just take the wheel. And so she said, Beatles. And I was like, oh, yeah, let's do the Beatles. And so we had a nice little sing-along. And I asked her, I said, can I ride with you? She was like, sure, if you want to. And so we just rode up and down and, you know, sang different songs and stuff. And other people came in there and looked at like me, I was crazy. But it was great. She was very, very nice. She was. So if you get a chance and you just happen to look at the elevator and see someone in it with a piano, hop in there and say hello and just ride with her. She's very nice. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about is I wanted to talk about ports. Now, we went to San Juan and we went to St. Martin, but one of the ports that we went to was the Perfect Day at Koko K. And
Perfect Day.
Yeah, that song will get stuck in your head if you go and you get off at Perfect Day at Koko K. Because it's playing over and over and over again. But I will say this was the best day that we had on this entire 7-day cruise. It was a perfect day.
Okay, and it was not a perfect day.
Okay, it wasn't a perfect. It wasn't a perfect day, but it was a.
That water was cold.
It wasn't a perfect day, but it was a lot of fun.
No, it was great. We
had a great day though. Outside of that one thing and maybe something else, I don't know, but we had a great time. I mean, we really, really did. We all got off the ship. We took the shuttle all the way around the beach area, the whole property, so you can go and see all the different spaces where you can stop off and go to the Daredevil water slides and stuff. You had the Chill Beach over there where you can stop off. You had Oasis Lagoon, which is where we actually ended up, which is where the giant pool is. And so, you know, I just thought it was great. I thought it was really, really great. You want to talk more about that?
Yes, I do. So first I want to say, and this is not necessarily Royal Caribbean related, but it reminds me of it because you talked about Koko K. One of the best parts, honestly, about this entire cruise was cruising with your parents. Like, I am so fortunate to have in-laws that I love so dearly, and your mom is such a hoot.
My mom's a trip.
And we just had so much fun, so I just kind of wanted to put that out there, because if you saw our Koko K video, you saw her, and she was just so much fun. But anyway, what I did, I want to agree with you. So Koko K, even though when we went, it wasn't completely finished. Right. There's still some areas they're working on. It was very nice. We were the only ship in port. I never actually felt like there was any real crowding, even when we went to go get lunch and anything like that, because the way it's laid out, there's so many venues that people are pretty spaced out pretty well. So I think that's good. A little bit about the trolley. So there is a trolley from the ship to the entrance of Koko K, and then there is also a trolley from the entrance of Koko K that takes you around the entire area, and they will tell you where they stop and all the little drop-off points and things like that. So that's good to know. Another thing I just want to mention, you know, before we went, I was calling Koko K Key, because I've heard it as Koko Key, Koko K, and I didn't know what it was supposed to be. So apparently I think it used to be called something Key, Siesta Key, whatever, when Royal Caribbean first purchased it or whatever. But I'm here to tell you that they beat that song into us so much. It is Koko K. I don't know what it used to be, but it is definitely Koko K. So if any of your friends or anybody's like, I don't know what it is, it's Koko K. Just remember, rhymes with perfect day, Koko K.
But yeah, I mean, the staff was super nice. I mean, there was tons of things to do. But let's, you know, talk.
I said everybody was really nice.
Oh, they were extremely nice. But let's talk about where we actually ended up, which was Oasis Lagoon. And like I said, it was a giant pool area. And they had a grill there, right there, which was the sunset grill, sunrise grill, sunset grill. One of those two things you'll see in the video. But they had a buffet there. And so we got there at, like, you know, 10:30 in the morning or something like that. And the buffet opened up like maybe an hour after that or something. But tons of options there for you, from salads to burgers to tacos to portobello mushroom sandwiches, all that kind of stuff. And it's just right around the corner from the pool. Like, it's not really a far walk at all.
The snack shack.
Oh, and then they also had a snack shack. So you had the grill on one side, which had the Skipper's Grill. That's what it's called, Skipper's Grill. On one side, that had the buffet area, and then there's restrooms right there. And then on the other side of the pool was the snack shack. Now, the snack shack had burgers and fries and, like, hot dogs and things, but one of the unique things that it had was funnel cake. Can you believe that? They had funnel cake. And fresh fruit. They had fresh fruit there, too. But funnel cake. You can go
I've never, cruise funnel cake, like, I've never had funnel cake on a cruise or with the cruise line or
anything. Outside right there by the pool. And let me tell you, okay, funnel cake has a distinct smell. So when you get close to the snack shack or you don't know where it is, smell that funnel cake and just keep following it because it is right there in your face. And it was so good. And they had brownies, I think, too, with like caramel sauce on it.
Oh my God.
Salted caramel.
We have got to edit this out. People think we're just talking about food.
No. But we have to tell you what's out there, right? We're sampling it for you.
Keep it real. Part of cruising is eating.
It's eating. It really is. You like to have all the options that you can. But anyways, the snack shack is fantastic. But then we went and we got into the pool, which also has a swim-up bar in the pool. But what's great about the pool is, and back to what you were saying on board with the solarium, is you want a pool that you can actually walk into.
Yes.
So anyone who has mobility issues or anything like that can walk straight into this pool.
It is zero entry. You can actually roll into the pool if you were in.
Yep, absolutely. And they have fountains right there as soon as you walk in too. You know, kids can go there and splash away all they want. But the pool goes from 3 feet, I believe it was 0, to some places 3 feet 6 inches, and then there was also supposed to be areas of the pool where it gets up to 6 feet. Is what the lady told me, in the middle somewhere.
There's definitely places where it gets up, because remember when we were like going under the bridge area? Yeah, it was way deeper there. But I don't know.
I remember it was like 6 feet though. I didn't see any spots.
I was on my tiptoes.
Okay, all right. Well, it gets deeper as you go around, so be cautious of that. But the water was freezing. It's freezing.
Oh, it's so warm.
Oh God, it's so cold.
Oh, it's so hot.
Oh, my nether regions. Oh God.
Just get in it. Come on.
Look at my belly button.
Go out there so I can take your picture. So initially, actually, I was going to say Royal Caribbean can't control the temperature of the water, but actually they can. Mm-hmm. You know, Koko K is going to be something that's open year round, and the temperature is going to fluctuate. Obviously, I would love to see Royal Caribbean figure out a way to keep that pool heated. You know, it didn't have to be bathtub water, but to keep it comfortably heated during the cooler times or cooler months. Now there are other areas where there's water, such as, you know, obviously the ocean, and then they've got some man-made ocean type area out there. I would expect that area to be heated, so I would know going into it it's probably going to be cold. Mm-hmm. But there, I guess, you know, 84 degrees that day. I think one of the lifeguards had said it had been cooler, you know, for a while there. So obviously the water, you know, wasn't going to be warm. But I think given that this is really water, it's the main attraction of this entire island, and you're going to be there in January, December, like all year long, I would love to see that they had it heated. So if I can make a suggestion to Royal Caribbean, it would be nice if you had that heated, because we weren't the only ones talking about that. No. It was cold.
It was very cold. I mean, and honestly, there would have been a lot more people in that pool if it was a little warmer.
We would have stayed longer.
Yeah, I agree. There are benches inside the pool along certain little islands that they have there. So if you just wanted to chill out, you know, in the pool and sit down, there are actually little benches in there. And
little tanning loungers.
Yep, little tanning loungers.
Lay on and be partially in the water, but out so you can
tan. They have those too, The other thing that was really shocking and interesting was they had cabanas out there that you could rent for the day around by where the one side of the pool was. And I walked over there and I was just like, oh yeah, I remember somebody mentioned about these cabanas, and I asked the guy, I said, how much are these to rent? And he said, how much are they? How much? So that man said those cabanas were $1,000, $1,000.99. So basically $1,100 for those cabanas for the day. He said $1,099.
You know, while you talk, I should go. I want to go up here and look at this, because the only reason I was shocked when, you know, I saw that, because I wasn't with you, but I saw the video when you did it, was that they're going to have over water cabanas, which I expect to be expensive, $1,000.
Right.
But the cabanas that I saw in the video, that was not $1,000 cabana. I mean,
no,
it was just
it's just like a
in the
regular
sand
cabana.
like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and it has some chairs and stuff. Whoop. I mean, and they probably give you water, maybe fresh fruit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, and I know in their other private island, you may even get invited to a special buffet. But for $1,100, I wasn't seeing it. But I'm going to look real quick because I want to know. So I looked it up.
Okay.
So, and this is just, I found it on the site on the internet, so it could be wrong. I'm not saying that this is right, but this is what it says. For Chill Island cabanas, they range from $300 to $569. Oasis Lagoon, $299 to $569. Waterpark cabanas, I'm just going to skip around, anywhere from $5 to $869. Koko Beach Club cabanas, which I don't think they were open, but I'm wrong. I might be wrong. Or $949 to $1,549. So was that the Koko Beach Club? We can look it up. I don't know. Where were you?
I don't think so, because we were at Oasis Lagoon.
So then those would have been $299 through $569, and the overwater ones are going to be $1,000 to $1,600.
So then why did he say it was $1,100?
Yeah, because see, these more expensive ones that are over $1,000, they come with complimentary club admission, and when we went there, the club wasn't open. So no, those things that you show were not $1,000. Like I was like,
that's why. Well, all I know is that's what he told me. You do have to pay for the Thrill Water Park area. So they have a zip line out there, and they have several water slides and things like that to partake in. You have to pay for those if you go out there, and I think they can be kind of expensive.
It is expensive.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy like a day pass or something like that, but still. You
can do half day and day passes out there, and they also have the balloon that goes up, so you can see all the island and the islands around it. But again, that's not complimentary. You have to pay.
You have to pay for that one too. Yeah, but I mean, it was really, really good time. I really enjoyed it. First time seeing my dad get into a pool.
Oh yeah, I've never seen your dad get in a pool in my life. No.
I've never seen him get into a pool. I know he can't swim, neither can my mama. But still, I've never seen them get into a pool. They go to the beach a lot, you know, but I've never seen them get in a pool. So that was really fun to see that. Oh, and they had a nice little siesta. After they had eaten ice cream and stuff and went into the pool, they had a nice little nap.
I don't want to sound like a walking promo for Royal Caribbean, because we try to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to be the people who are like, yeah, everything is awesome all the time. We want to, you know, help you know what to expect when you go.
Exactly.
But I will say that if anybody asked me if I would recommend Symphony of the Seas on Royal Caribbean, I would absolutely recommend it without any hesitation, even to a first-time cruiser.
I would too.
You know, especially because a lot of times they're worried that they're going to get bored or there's not going to be enough stuff for them to do. Symphony of the Seas will be perfect for that.
Absolutely.
Again, the way the port was handled, even getting off the ship when it was over.
Yeah.
Usually where you see couples and families start to break down. But it actually, it was very smooth.
Yep.
So I really commend them.
We're going to walk up to the green line. Okay. Once the young lady calls you forward, take your glasses off, look into the camera, and give a big smile. Okay?
And so you don't have to use your passport anymore?
Not unless they send you to the officer.
I have some other feelings about the Miami airport and some other places we went while in Miami, but overall, I will say that, you know, it was really a good time.
Yeah, and to piggyback on what you said about people feeling like there's not enough things to do or they would get bored on Symphony of the Seas, I will also say if you feel like Symphony of the Seas is too large and it may be overwhelming, it's not, because there's like I said earlier, there's so much space for people to spread out that I really didn't feel the crowds, except for like, you know, the first day and the last day. It's just people getting on and getting off, but other than that, no problem.
And crowds are okay when they're managed well.
Yeah, that's the thing. They were managed well on Symphony of the Seas. That's the key. Yeah. So I highly recommend Symphony of the Seas.
So I think this is all funny because you'll see that we most recently, like literally like a week or so ago, got off another cruise line, cruise ship. So we are going to be talking about that soon. And for me, sometimes it's hard to not compare, because I do really feel that every cruise line does something better,
Yep.
you know, than another cruise line.
Absolutely.
So, but I try not to compare too much, you know, because, you know, hey, everything is different. So hopefully you don't feel like there was too much of that in here.
Absolutely.
But again, definitely would recommend it. If you have been on Symphony of the Seas, tell us about your experience down in the comments. If you have any questions for us, we'll be glad to answer it the best that we can.
Absolutely.
And we hope you enjoyed this video.
Yeah, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know every time we post new videos. Make sure you keep watching us, because we got more content coming of all of our cruises and travels.
Our most recent cruise was 14 days long.
14 days.
Bye.